African Rangers operate daily in extreme, security-sensitive environments where the physical stakes could not be higher. Because of this harsh reality, minimum fitness standards, deployment readiness, and team reliability aren't optional guidelines. They are absolute, non-negotiable requirements to keep everyone alive. To protect the park, organizations usually focus outward on external threats like poaching or climate change. Today, we are looking inward. We call this the inside-out approach, examining the internal systems and policies that protect the rangers themselves. An organization's actual ability to execute field tactics relies heavily on a functional, healthy workplace culture. Let's look at a common scenario in the field. A male and a female ranger both successfully pass the exact same rigorous physical training and selection process. Fast forward a few months. The male ranger is out on patrol, navigating terrain and building vital field experience. The female ranger has been reassigned to base camp, handling cooking, cleaning, and administrative tasks. Looking at this flowchart, we see the exact point of divergence. These rangers start with the same assessments, but end up in entirely different jobs. There is no official roster or policy anywhere that states women must do domestic duties. As this graphic illustrates, unwritten assumptions and informal habits silently override official policy. This divergence creates an undeniable experience gap, a brick wall that blocks female rangers from advancing in their careers. This split happens largely due to a dynamic called protective discrimination. This scale highlights a major contradiction in ranger culture. On one side, male colleagues and supervisors often shield female peers from difficult frontline work out of a genuine sense of kindness. But on the other side, that good intention directly results in professional exclusion. By keeping women at the base, the system denies them the opportunity to assess physical risk, prove their reliability under pressure, and accumulate the frontline experience required to move up the ranks. As this slide points out, true respect means sharing the risks. Treating a highly trained, qualified law enforcement professional as someone who needs constant protection wastes their skills and actively undermines team cohesion. The system limits women under the guise of care and then points to their resulting lack of field experience as the exact justification to deny them leadership roles later on. To identify and dismantle these hidden barriers, organizations use a framework called GESI, Gender Equity and Social Inclusion. Equality means treating everyone exactly the same, but identical treatment fails because it completely ignores the pre-existing hidden barriers that younger or marginalized staff bring with them to the job. This clearly separates sameness from fairness. On the left, equal treatment leaves some people staring at a wooden fence. On the right, equity means actively identifying and removing those unfair barriers so that everyone gets a genuine chance to participate, grow, and speak up safely. Equity does not mean lowering the operational bar. It means ensuring that the constraints we place on rangers are based on actual job requirements, rather than historical bias. This equity lens applies to every phase of a ranger's career, extending far beyond the specific details of patrol deployment. This wheel maps out 7 interconnected domains of the ranger ecosystem, allowing us to assess everything from initial recruitment and physical infrastructure to mental well-being and leadership promotion. To audit the current reality across these domains without assigning individual blame, we use the metaphor of a road, divided into 3 distinct states. First is a blocked road. Here, serious physical or cultural barriers exist. Marginalized groups are filtered out early, given poor equipment, or find it entirely dangerous to speak out. Next is a bumpy road. The rules look open and fair on paper, but systemic support is uneven. Rangers navigate risks alone, leaving those with childcare ditties or specific safety concerns stuck in lower-tier roles without help. Finally, a graded road occurs when an organization intentionally smooths the path. Open recruitment is paired with active mentoring, adjusted shift patterns, and protected leadership chances. Achieving fairness requires moving an organization past the bumpy illusion of equality on paper toward the deliberately graded road of equity in practice. Transitioning to a graded road demands the construction of active structural safeguards. As defined here, a safeguard is a concrete rule, a practical step, or a protection that stops someone from getting hurt or makes it easier to speak up if something goes wrong. This chart contrasts paper policies with field realities. Having a written harassment policy that no one reads creates an illusion of safety. An active safeguard is a confidential grievance mechanism that offers a safe, tested bypass route around a problematic supervisor. Or consider infrastructure. Writing a standard for secure, separate changing facilities is useless on paper. The safeguard is ensuring the budget is allocated and the facilities are actually built before female staff are deployed. Unsafe workplace cultures survive in the dark. Without practical, tested safeguards in place, the risks of speaking up will always outweigh the perceived benefits. Dismantling informal habits and building these safeguards isn't a simple pass or fail test. It is an ongoing cumulative journey of assessing where your systems sit today. True inclusion requires abandoning protective discrimination. All qualified rangers must be allowed to share in the operational risks equally so they can build the experience required to lead. Rather than a standard human resources checklist, gender equity and social inclusion functions as a core strategy for organizational health. When an organization does the work to make its workplace fairer and safer from the inside out, it builds a tighter, more operationally resilient team, fully capable of protecting the environment they stand in.